Good morning, how y'all doing? I was going to stream live on YouTube since they used to let me do it, but I guess they updated the qualifications and my page doesn't meet the the eligibility for that. But I'm still gonna do this message. I came on here for two reasons. The first reason is because I was challenged by Dr. Shamika Dean. She has a 7-day challenge going live on YouTube, so I signed up for that. But as I said, I can't go live, so I'm still gonna do this. I don't know if it's gonna count because it's not live, but I'm still gonna do it. But I didn't hear about it at first. I usually hear stuff on YouTube. I go on YouTube a lot, but I didn't hear about it. So I guess God, put it on my friend's heart. Her name is Shanice Jones. She also has a channel on here as well, so make sure you go check her out. But she texted me. She was like, "Did you hear about the challenge that Shamika's doing?" And I was like, "No, what challenge?" So I went on YouTube and I seen it, which was the 7-day challenge. So I was a little scared at first. I didn't really want to participate, but my friend Shanice was telling me, like, cheering me on. Was like, you could do it, you feel me? Like, don't be scared, you could do it. So I signed up for it, and I was like, a few months ago, I actually started doing live, so I am a lot more comfortable. So, but just to be on here, because like when I do messages, it's pretty much probably like two videos a week, you feel me? But to go for 7 days straight, it's like, wow. You feel me? But I know God is in control. But I'm trying to think. The second reason why I came on here today, because guess what, y'all? Today is my 4-year brain aneurysm anniversary. You feel me? My brain aneurysm survival story. I'm gonna tell that testimony soon. But like, God is so good. Hopefully I don't mess up my makeup, but you know how people get ready for, celebrate their birthday, get dressed up, have their hair looking nice, some nice clothes. Like, this is a celebration. So I got my face made up, you feel me? Got my outfit on, and I'm about to go out to eat. I'm gonna say, if the Lord's will. If y'all didn't see that video, I have a video on here. It's called If the Lord's Will, so make sure you check that out as well. But for those, I'm pretty sure some people know me, but for those who don't know me, my name is Tay. The name of my channel is called Inspire Me, where I talk about relative or current events, all from a biblical perspective. Now, if you look at it like a psychologist or psychiatrist, they give people advice. But all my advice is from the Bible. You feel me? Like, if you got advice, I don't care if you was in the field for 80 years. I'ma just say, I know people don't be in the field for that long, but I don't care if you've been in the field for 80 years. If you're not telling me what thus says the Lord, if you're not telling me what the Bible say, the Holy Bible say, then how you doing? Then, you feel me, I don't want to hear that. Like, that's void to me. You feel me? I guess some people be thinking I'm talking to myself. But anyways, like I was saying, if you're not telling me what thus says the Lord, then I don't pretty much want to hear your advice. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, it's like every time I record, it's like noise in the background, loud noises, loud trucks, loud cars, but this message is still going to get across. God originally told me to do this video last year in April on my 3-year anniversary, and I think one of my videos titled, oh yeah, you got 99 excuses, but obedience is not one. So make sure you check that out if you have not already. But I get a little bit into my testimony about, God told me to do a video, to start doing videos, my 3rd year of my brain aneurysm, to tell about the testimony. And that day came, and that day went. And I still did not record a video. And I didn't actually start recording until November of last year. So I was supposed to start April of last year, but I didn't start until November of last year. But I am here now. So I'm gonna get a testimony. So let me just start. Let me see how much time I got left. Okay, April 9th of 2015, just to backtrack, I just had my baby. I had my oldest, he was a year and a half at the time, and I just had my baby. She was 10 days old at the time when I had my brain aneurysm, my daughter. To backtrack, I had her through C-section. Both of my children were through C-section, and the birth was, a good experience. There was no complications, nothing bad happened or anything. So I think I was prescribed 2 medications by my doctor for my C-section for to take away the pain. It probably was a low dosage. I really don't know, but I took the medicine and everything was okay. So, when you have a C-section, you're supposed to be at the hospital for 3 days and then go home. So after the 3rd day, I was released and I went home. It was me, my 2 kids, and my kid's father. So of course I was in pain, so he went to get the medicine for me. It was 2 pain medicines that I was prescribed. He was a little hesitant of getting the medicine, but he got it anyway. So when he got it and brought it back to me, he was like, the pharmacy said, like, be careful when you're taking this medicine. I don't know the exact words he was pretty much saying, but all in all, he was pretty much saying, like, be careful of taking the medicine. The pharmacist said, be careful of taking the medicine. So I heard what he was saying, but me being hard-headed, I didn't really listen, so I went in one ear and out the other. And me, I usually read the directions, like the instructions on the pill bottle, but for some reason, I just didn't. So it was 2 medicines. One was supposed to be every 4 hours, and the other was supposed to be every 6 hours. I was taking them both every 4 hours, so it caused me to overdose. So I'm gonna say, okay, like I told you, I was released on the 3rd day, so probably on the 4th day of being home, I was breastfeeding, and I bred my first child for like 14 months straight. So I was intended on breastfeeding my 2nd child as well. So I was breastfeeding, and my breast was like really sore, like to the point, I understand when you latch on incorrectly, your breasts are very sore. For those who breastfeed or who have breastfed in the past, like, if your kids latch on incorrectly, like, it will cause your breast to be very sore. But I was experienced because, like I said, I breastfed my first child, and they're like 21 months apart, so believe me, I know what I was doing. But my breast was just so sore, like, it was to the point I couldn't really breastfeed her. So I guess that probably was one of the side effects, but I didn't know what it was. So, like, after a day or so, it died down, and I was able to, like, breastfeed, the regular way again. So up until April 9th, 2015, I took my medicine. Of course, I took it incorrectly, but I took both of the medicines, and my pain subdued. So probably like 30 minutes in, I didn't really eat, but I was starting to get like a headache, a bad headache, like a migraine sort of. So my kid's father got in contact with, first before I got into all that, I called my doctor, my OBGYN, to see what was going on, and I could not get in contact with him at all. So my kid's father, he got in contact with one of his relatives, and she was actually able to get in contact with my doctor. So after she told me what the doctor said, she was pretty much saying, like, you have to eat, because one of the medicines that you're taking in, you have to eat with that medicine. And I didn't eat nothing that day, and that wasn't like me because I love to eat. But for some reason, I just didn't eat that day. So I popped in a TV dinner and ate it, and I thought I was gonna feel better. I started to feel somewhat better. So a little bit after that, I started to get a migraine headache again. So I said, okay then. So I was like hot at the same time as well as dizzy. So my kids, I was like, you maybe should put an ice pack in your head to cool down. So I put an ice pack in my head, and I started to feel better. I'm gonna say probably like 10 minutes in, I laid down, put an ice pack on my head, and I started to cool down, and my headache started to go away. So I said, okay, I'm feeling good now. You feel me? So I got up and went to the freezer to put the ice pack back in the freezer. And first, before I even finish with my story, I'm pretty much going to come from Revelations, the 12th chapter, and the 11th verse. I don't have a Bible, but it's very short. It pretty much says, they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And what that means is, when you tell your testimony to people, not only do you free yourself, but you free other people. Like, say for instance, if you have skeletons in your closet, if it's something that you want to keep secret, you feel me? You don't want other people to know about. You never know, by you telling your testimony to people, you might free somebody else that's hiding their secret and like be scared of what people might think or say about them. By them hearing your story, they might be like, oh my gosh, she told her story, so I can tell my story. You feel me? I can free myself. You feel me? You don't know who you're freeing. So tell your testimony. It don't matter if it's a skeleton in your closet. You might have some people that might bash or might laugh or might toot their nose up, but you don't care what they say or what they think. There's a scripture in the Bible where God says, don't be afraid of men's faces. Like, you might have some people might toot their face up at you, might toot their nose up, might have something to say, but you don't care about what they say. You only care about what God say. You feel me? So tell your testimony. So I'm going to tell my testimony. You never know who you're going to free. So I'm praying about this testimony. Feel me? Somebody else can come out with their testimony. It may not be the exact same testimony that I might experience, but any testimony that y'all might have, like, tell y'all testimony. And then, like I said, this is from Revelations, the 12th chapter and the 11th verse. You feel me? So, I started to put the ice pack back in the freezer. And when I reached up to put the ice pack back up, I immediately got hot and dizzy again. So I said, okay then, let me turn the AC on and sit down, and then maybe I'll cool down. So usually when I turn the AC on, I cool down after a while. So I turned the AC on and I sat down for a while, and like the feeling would not disappear. I was still hot and dizzy, like I was just overheating, and like the headache I was experiencing, it was like a migraine headache. It was really bad. So me and my kid's dad was like, going back and forth. I was telling him, I'll just drive myself to the hospital to see what's wrong. And I guess God placed it in his heart. Was like, no, he was like, no, I'll drive you. And I'm like, no, it's going to be too long because I got to get myself ready. I got to get 2 kids ready. You feel me? Like, that's too much on me right now. I have a bad headache. Like, no, I'll just drive myself. But can you imagine if I drove myself, like, what would have happened? As I'm going to explain, what happened, like, it was God really touched his heart. It was like, let me just drive you, because the condition that I was in, if I would have drove myself, hopefully I don't mess my makeup up, but if I do, you feel me? But me and him was going back and forth, and then God brought it to me like, you can call the ambulance, so you don't have to get your kids ready. You could just, get yourself ready, and then you still have somebody to take you. So I was like, call the ambulance. So he called them. They came kind of fast. They took my pressure. I didn't know what the pressure was at the time, and I don't know what was known as, being normal, but I knew they took my pressure. So as I was walking outside, I said, watch the kids, I'll be back. My vision was blurry, but I still could see. So I was on the stretcher in the ambulance. I'm going to say within 5 to 10 minutes, within 5 to 4 minutes on the stretcher on the ambulance, my right side of my face was burning to the point I was kicking and screaming. I don't know how it feels to be electrocuted, but it was like a shock on the side of my face. I was telling it was a paramedic, of course, that was driving, but it was also a paramedic in the back. I guess he was watching me. I was trying to tell him, like, my face is burning, but I don't know if he thought I was joking, but I'm pretty sure he know I wasn't joking when I passed out, but my face was burning to the point I was kicking and screaming. I told the testimony on Facebook on my first year of my anniversary. Of course, I wrote the post, but I wasn't doing videos then. But it's more vivid when you're telling your testimony. You feel me? So I'm glad I'm able to do that. But it was to the point I was kicking and screaming, and I was telling God, like, in my head, like, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. And I did black out, and I'm gonna say I did temporarily die. And when I woke up, I ain't gonna say when I woke up, but when I was alert to know what was going on around me. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna probably have to, if this video is too long, I may have to make a part 2. But when I was alert to know what was going on around me, it was a month later. Like I said, this happened April 9th of 2015. I think when I was alert to know what was going on, it was probably May 11th of 2015. So a month and a few days later, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what happened. And my kid's father told me exactly what happened. He said it was a brain aneurysm. I had to have brain surgery. For y'all who don't know what a brain aneurysm is, it's when a blood vessel, I'm sorry, 1 second, it's like everybody's calling me right now. And I just got a text as well, but 1 second. But for y'all who don't know what a brain aneurysm is, it's when a blood vessel in your head pops, and that's what happened to me. And I had to have brain surgery to repair it. It did rupture, you feel me? It ruptured, and it's a blessing, it's a miracle for me to be here. But leading up to that, for me to have the brain surgery, they had to shave off all my hair because, like I told you, I had a baby. My baby was 10 days old, so the first pregnancy, I wasn't really looking pregnancy ready, but my next pregnancy, I was on point. I had my Janet Jackson braids in, I had my nails done, my feet, my fingernails, I was looking good. I was on point. So in order for them to have the brain surgery, they couldn't take out my braids, you feel me? So they shaved my whole hair. Now I'm gonna insert pictures a little later, but they shaved all my hair, you feel me? 1 second. Yeah, but they shaved off all my hair, so I was pretty much bald, you feel me? I didn't have no hair. And for those who know me, I used to have, I still do, but I used to have long hair. But they shaved all my hair pretty much bald, so I didn't have nothing. So after my kid's dad told me what happened, the doctors named it as intracerebellum, if I'm saying it correctly, intracerebellum hemorrhage. That's when you bleed in the brain. And I lost a lot of blood in my head, so I had to have a brain transfusion. A blood transfusion. I'm sorry about that. A blood transfusion. So not only did I have brain surgery, I had a blood transfusion to pretty much fill up the blood that I lost inside my brain. You feel me? So after I had the brain surgery, I was in intensive care. So a few weeks after I was in intensive care, the doctors, they gave up on me. That was like, there's nothing else we could do. So they told my kid's dad, like, you should probably consider putting her in hospice. You see how, like, that's how I know God do stuff so he can get the glory. So if after I had the surgery, and if I was well, don't you know, the doctors would have got the credit and said could have been deemed like, we're the reason that she survived. God wanted to get the glory. The doctors couldn't do nothing. After I had the brain surgery, and not give credit to the doctors, but they could only do so much. But it was God who gave the increase. Like I said, I was pretty much in intensive care, and the doctors wanted to put me in hospice, but God. But God, I was just going over one of my discharge papers. The other day I was actually looking for some other papers, and I ran into my discharge papers, and it was pretty much saying like, if a person with a brain aneurysm survives, they pretty much have brain dysfunction, like a loss of their brain function. That's how I know it's God, because I'm able to think rationally, and like I know it's God. I know it is God. I'm able to, like nothing even happens to me at all. I have all my brain function. I'm able to think reasonably. And I just owe it all to God. Like, God is so good in Jesus' name. But let me see how long this is. Like I said, I'm gonna split it up in 2 parts. So I'm gonna do part 2 really soon. I don't want to make this message pretty much long-winded, but I'm gonna do a part 2. So make sure y'all stay tuned.